What's up, DISKI family? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Welcome back to the channel where we break down local football the way it deserves. Now, today, we're looking at the current Betwaypremiership Log Standings, and let me tell you, the title race, the top four, and even the battle, even the relegation battle is all heating up. Let's head straight into the log, and let me tell you, it's looking very interesting, especially with the last few games that are also underway for these few teams. The Orlando Pirates sits at the top of the log, playing 25 games, winning 18, 4 draws and 3 losses. They've got a goal difference of about 39 and 58 points in hand. Next up is Mamelodi Sundowns with 23 games played, meaning they have 2 games in hand. Very crucial, especially as they're going to be heading into their match-up against the Stellenbosch. They've played 23 games. They've got 17 wins, 5 draws, and 1 loss. This is not a team that usually loses. So, there are very low expectations for them to be losing against the Stellenbosch. Not unless critics might say that their focus is more on the CAF Champions League, which could be the case. However, this is a championship level team. They sit with 56 points, 2 games in hand, just behind Amapagania, meaning that it would take a loss and a draw for them to stay behind Amapagania, and Pagania would have to hope to God that it happens, because without speaking to God himself, God's favorite team in South Africa, being Mamelodi Sundowns with 8 consecutive titles, might just go for 9 if they feel like it. Kaizer Chiefs is right after Mamelodi Sundowns, having played 24 games, 13 wins, 7 draws and 4 losses. They've got a goal difference of about 14 and 46 points. I honestly don't see Kaizer Chiefs contending with the Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns for the silverware this season. I just don't see it. Not unless they really feel like they can really raise up their socks now and win all of the games that they have left. Maybe, just maybe, also beating Mamelodi Sundowns there. I don't see that happening. Orlando Pirates is their next matchup on Sunday, and I honestly don't think it's their biggest matchup on Sunday. I stand to be corrected with their next matchup. I'm gonna look at the next fixtures. Probably, they might have one more game, in which I don't think it's a good idea, man. They're facing my rivals Wabo on Sunday. Neither team has a game before Sunday. They're going to be fully focused on the derby on Sunday. So, should the Orlando Pirates lose to Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates might as well forget about winning the league, because there's no ways Sundowns is going to let down on them, especially if they're going to hand it to them like that. They lead Mamelodi Sundowns with just 2 points. 2 points. But Mamelodi Sundowns has 2 games in hand. So should they remain on 58 points, they literally have handed it to the Masandawanas there. So it's going to be a very interesting Sunday for both teams. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The title race is far from over, as it seems, right? Pirates, depending on these latest updates in the next few games, Pirates still might actually be in proper contention to take the silverware. It's just going to be tough, because Sundowns are doing what Sundowns do best, which is consistency. They've won back-to-back at least 6 wins, 7 wins, if not 8 wins, back-to-back with the CAF and the Betwaypremiership. So grinding out results, controlling games, that's championship mentality. But Pirates, the momentum they've got, the firepower and the scoring goals, over 46 goals this season already, and that attacking threat could be the difference. So we'll see what happens. Especially on Sunday. We'll see if Pirates is really serious about winning this Betwaypremiership, because maybe, just maybe, Mamelodi Sundowns might slip up and give it to them. We don't know. Okay, let's talk about standout performers recently. For Sundowns, for me, it has to be O'Brien Leon. There was a lot of speculation around this player in the beginning of his team, of his term, rather. This player has a high scoring rate. He has been excelling ever since he has been admitted into the pitch. This is the kind of player that you want to look for when you look for a signing in the transfer market. Unlike other teams when they make big purchases and then they have underwhelming strikers that make underwhelming performers, O'Brien Leon is actually putting a foot on every single striker's neck right now by proving that he is worth the money that they signed him for. So those contributing goals consistently and giving them that cutting edge in tight matches is absolutely great for Sundowns. For the Pirates side, not even before we move on to the Pirates side, they've even got players like Ikram Reiners, which I also still feel like, man, he's not giving enough chances. Same there with Umanapali Saleng. Yes, Saleng did play in the recent semi-finals, but we haven't seen much of Saleng as compared to seeing him play Orlando Pirates. It's very tough. It's very tough there by Mamelodi Sundowns. As you can see, these players have tough competition. You find a player like O'Brien Leon brought overseas to play for Orlando Pirates. As soon as he comes in, he scores. It's as if the boardroom is like, you know what, because we spent such an amount of money on this player, we need to see our return on investment, which is great. It makes business sense, because when you look at other teams, especially there by Kaizer Chiefs, Yabo Kanyisa Mayo, Abo Igodaro, Abo Claudili Lepo, these guys have very low scoring rates. Even there by Orlando Pirates, Yamnela Mbutuma, he only found his scoring boots towards the end of the season. Tough break for the kid. I mean, I can understand he's also a new signing, but when you compare him to the likes of O'Brien Leon, that kind of shows the different pedigree between different players. The mentality there is different. The hunger is different. Now, what can local strikers take from players like Abu Brian Leon and Abu Arturo Salez when every single time they step up onto the pitch, there's a difference that they make? It's how to score. In fact, there's only one other person that I deem is actually proving his worth when it comes to scoring goals and being looking like an effective striker, and that is Urulebogile Mofokeng. That kid is dynamite, waiting to explode every single time he gets a chance in front of the goalpost. He is the only South African player I feel like he is at the same caliber as the players of with the likes of Abu Ribeiro, this kid himself, Brian Leone. This is the kind of pedigree that you would expect when you purchase a striker for a high valuation. You wouldn't want your money wasted the season long, because you want results. You want results. You've got people like Abu Patrick Masangwanya, Abu Tito, Evidence Mahopa contributing in big moments, not just scoring but influencing the tempo of the game as well. And don't you dare sleep on Oswin Apollos. He's been quietly effective all season, especially in key attacking phrases. I mean, his combination with Urulebogile Mofokeng is just absolute dynamite. There's nothing you can do when these two are in sync, in the zone in front of the goalpost. You can almost 99% of the time you can guarantee that these guys are a threat in front of the goalpost. There's nothing that defenders can do. When these boys are on, they are on. Now, moving on to third place. Kaizer Chiefs is sitting comfortably there in third spot with 46 points. But let's be honest, they're not quite in the title race. They're more focused on securing a top 3 spot or a CAF spot. Still, in their recent form, they have been solid. A couple of wins on the bounce before a slip up, but overall, much improved from previous seasons. And then you've got Amazulu sitting in fourth place with around 39 points. obviously they haven't moved a bit because they got thrashed by the Orlando Pirates. The Orlando Pirates making a statement win against the Amazulu, just this past weekend. They're also looking to secure their spot in the CAF the next season by sticking around in the fourth place. Amazulu has been one of those teams this season. They haven't been flashy, but they've been effective. They grind out results. They stay compact, and they pick up points where it matters. Now, in the middle of the table is where it gets tight, where you find is Kukunu United, Durban City, and Polokwane all fighting for that top 6 finish. I think the way I see it, okay, yes, Polokwane City has a game in hand and they are 1 point away from Durban City, so that could be a threat to Durban City. However, is Kukunu United right now can't afford to lose any more games if they want to stick in the top 6, honestly speaking. From a team that was at the top of the log in the first half of this season, I'm a bit disappointed. I honestly thought I'd expect to see Kukunu United there in the top 4. However, there's still a chance with this Kukunu United to still be in the top 4 because they are just 1 point away from Amazulu, which means should Amazulu lose or draw one more time and this Kukunu United make sure that they win all of them, it's chai. It's chai for Amazulu, and Amazulu will be dropped to number 5 whilst Kukunu United makes its way up to the 4th place. It's going to be an interesting last 7 games for all these matches, or for most clubs. Because Kukune in particular, they've been unpredictable. 1 week they look like top 4 contenders, the next week they drop points. Durban City, they've got a solid structure but just lacking that final push to break into the league bracket. And Polokwane City, the draw specialist, they've just got too many draws holding them back from climbing higher. Now, looking at recent results, we saw Mamelodi Sundowns continue their dominance with another win in the CAF Champions League, showing why they're still favourites for the title. Even back at the Betwaypremiership, they dominated. We also saw recently Marumo Kolenzi pulled off a big result with a 3-1 win over Chippa United. That's massive for their survival hopes. But them and Orbit College, it's looking bad, man. It's looking bad. In fact, in my case, he is hanging on by a thread, because if they could have been relegated, they would have been relegated because they got the same points with Imarumo Kalenzi. It's just a matter of goal difference there. Imarumo Kalenzi there this past weekend, their results, they drew with Iswelele. Not bad. It's not bad, but then it's not great neither. Because if you look at their draw with the Orbit College as well, it just puts them in the same position that they're in, that they basically going to get relegated very, very soon. So, let's talk about the bottom of the table. Imarumo Kalenzi, Orbit College, Makesi and Chippa United, all in that danger zone. Makesi is sitting at the bottom sitting above the bottom. Orbit College struggling for consistency all season. Orbit College are also under pressure to conceding too many goals. And honestly, at this stage of the season, it's not even about playing good football anymore. It's about survival. One win can change everything. So the big question is, right now, who will win the league? Sundowns have the experience. Pirates have that hunger. If Pirates can keep scoring and avoid dropping city points, they still got a real chance. But if Sundowns maintain this consistency, it's going to be very difficult to catch them. That's the current state of the Betwaypremiership Log. The title race is alive. The top 4 is heating up. The relegation battle is wide open. Let me know in the comment section who's winning the league this season, Sundowns or Pirates, because there's no other team that can enter this conversation right now. It's already too late. These guys, even after EK's achieves, there's that 10 points difference. That's kind of massive. Especially with the team that's got 2 games in hand. It's all up to the top 2 right now, because here we talk football the right way. Danko.